In the previous chapter, Chu Qingcheng promised to support Zhuo Fan, not hold him back. Luo Yunhai and Xu Yanhai prepared to destroy the jade slips to protect her. But just as they were about to, Chu Qingcheng appeared and stopped them. Let's begin the chapter. Half an hour passed, and Zhuo Fan released the seals on Han Qianying and Shui Ruohua's cultivations. Immediately they sprang into action, opening the sect array. The demon scheming sect, along with the Luo clan, quickly gathered their wounded, buried their fallen, and then departed, leaving the ravaged battlefield behind. But even as the others vanished into the distance, Zhuo Fan remained. He had unsealed Chu Qingcheng's power some time ago, yet she'd simply said she had something she needed to do, and disappeared. Now he waited, patient and expectant. Then, with a soft whoosh, Chu Qingcheng reappeared before him, her figure as breathtaking as ever. A smile played on her lips. "I'm back," she announced. "Good. Then let's go," Zhuo Fan responded, nodding, and he reached out, taking her hand firmly in his. Chu Qingcheng paused, a hint of surprise in her voice. "Aren't you even going to ask where I went?" Zhuo Fan chuckled, a warm, genuine sound. "Ha ha ha. No, as long as you weren't in danger, I wouldn't ask. I'd even encourage you to go. You are my wife, Qingcheng, not a subordinate, certainly not a prisoner. You deserve your freedom, your own space." A radiant beam spread across Chu Qingcheng's face. "He truly understands me," she thought, a wave of affection washing over her. "He knows me, and I know him." Neither of them wanted to feel constantly, scrutinized, every action questioned. So Chu Qingcheng didn't pry into Zhuo Fan's affairs, and he, in turn, respected her privacy. It was a silent understanding, a bond built on mutual respect. However, their unspoken agreement barely lasted 3 steps. Zhuo Fan's brow furrowed slightly, a touch of playful curiosity creeping into his voice. Qingcheng," he began. "Just where did you actually go?" Chu Qingcheng couldn't help it. She burst out laughing, a bright, melodious sound. "Pfft, didn't you just say you wouldn't ask? Are you already breaking your word?" she teased, rolling her eyes good-naturedly. "Ha ha ha, you're right, sorry," Zhuo Fan admitted, shaking his head with a wry smile. "I know I shouldn't try to control you, but I can't help wanting to know everything about you, down to the smallest detail. It's a strange feeling, my first time feeling anything like this, and I don't quite understand it. It's impulsive, almost overwhelming, but you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I respect your wishes, truly." But Chu Qingcheng stopped him, her smile softening. She lifted her hand, displaying the thunder ring on her finger, right in front of his eyes. "I went back for this," she explained. "After the mystical heaven sect trapped me, the vultures even took my storage ring. I went to retrieve it." "Ah, I see," Zhuo Fan nodded, relief washing over him. "So, it was nothing dangerous, ha ha ha." Chu Qingcheng's glare intensified, though it was clearly playful. "What do you mean, nothing? This ring is part of a pair, a symbol of our bond, our relationship. How can you call that nothing?" "Yeah, you're absolutely right, ha ha ha." Zhuo Fan agreed quickly, his heart swelling with warmth. He knew his own thunder ring, though also a thunder ring, was far more ornate, more imposing than hers, which he had crafted simply. But her care for this simple band, because of what it represented, filled him with immense happiness. However, their tender moment was short-lived. A mischievous glint sparked in Chu Qingcheng's eyes as she remembered something. "Oh, wait, I was wrong," she said, a playful smirk tugging at her lips. "The ring isn't exactly a pair, is it? There's another one. Something very similar worn by Miss Luo. Well," Zhuo Fan stammered, feeling a bead of sweat trickle down his temple. Chu Qingcheng pressed on, her smile widening. "These 3 rings, perhaps they'll all be together someday, and we can all live happily together, she declared with mock innocence. Ching Cheng, Zhuofan said, his mouth suddenly dry. She's not like that. She's just family. And the ring she wears was already passed down to Yunhai, a keepsake of the Luo clan head. Oh, I see, Chu Ching Cheng responded, her tone deceptively light. Then what about Shuanger, Yongning, Lianer, Miss Xu, she continued, her eyes twinkling with amusement. Zhuofan's mouth twitched. Ching Cheng, he began, attempting to steer the conversation away from dangerous territory. You are the leader of the Drifting Flowers edifices, a person of power and influence. Yes, she interrupted, batting her eyelashes innocently. But sometimes even I can be impulsive. And don't worry, I don't want to limit you, it's just that when Sister Peony sent me those sending jades, filled with rather interesting information, my heart felt a little heavy. She let the words hang in the air, her mischievous side fully on display. Zhuofan's eyes widened slightly. He silently cursed Peony for being such a busybody. He shook his head, trying to regain his composure, but Chu Ching Cheng's playful assault continued, question after question, each one designed to put him delightfully on the spot. And so, they walked away from the ruined mystical heaven sect, hand in hand, their laughter echoing softly in the air. In that moment, they weren't the high cultivators they were, nor the cunning schemers the world knew. They were simply a loving couple, teasing, bickering, flirting, utterly and wonderfully human. Watching them leave, Luo Yunhai and Chu Yanhai exchanged a pained look. Luo Yunhai sighed heavily. Brother Zhuo specifically instructed us to destroy that jade slip before anyone saw it. But Sister Ching Cheng saw it. What do we do now? Clanhead, it's probably all right, Chu Yanhai said, pondering the situation. Steward Zhuo didn't want anyone else to set eyes on Miss Chu. Now that the jade slip is destroyed, Miss Chu isn't going to hurt herself, right? It should be fine. After a moment's thought, Luo Yunhai nodded slowly. I hope so, but Brother Zhuo's order was clear, no one, and now Sister Ching Cheng has seen it. How do we explain this to him? Miss Chu herself said it, didn't she? To just not include her, Chu Yanhai reasoned, scratching his head. They're family anyway, so it won't really matter, ha ha ha. He chuckled nervously. Clan head, I'm an old man, and I know some things are better not taken too seriously. It's best to just gloss over it. When you have a lady of your own one day, you'll understand what it means to be love-struck. Luo Yunhai gave the old man a long, thoughtful look, then nodded in understanding. Since Sister Ching Cheng and Brother Zhuo are practically family, it's probably okay if there are a few secrets between husband and wife, he reasoned. The two men nodded again, reaching a silent agreement. They then hurried to catch up with Zhuo, Fan, and Chu Ching Cheng. But for Chu Ching Cheng, a subtle unease lingered. She had just told her first lie to Zhuo Fan, and because of their deep trust, he hadn't suspected a thing. Unbeknownst to them all, this small deception was foreordained to become Zhuo Fan's greatest regret in all his lives. After leaving the Ai Tai, mystical heaven sect's territory, they rested for half a month, about 10 miles away, allowing everyone to recover and regroup before continuing onward. Zhuo Fan distributed pills to Li Jingtian and the other elders, accelerating their healing. Meanwhile, the demon-scheming sect was jubilant, basking in the spoils of war they had seized from the mystical heaven sect. No one was happier than Kui Gang. His beloved son, Kui Lang, was finally meeting his mother for the very first time. He now understood that this reunion had been his father's carefully planned surprise. Father and son embraced, tears of joy and relief streaming down their faces as they held each other close. Venerable Qi had always been vehemently opposed to Quilang's relationship with the girl from the mystical heaven sect. But now they had utterly crushed the mystical heaven sect, humbling their arrogance and even gaining substantial benefits in the process. He was even willing to overlook Zhuofan's own romantic entanglement with a righteous sect woman, considering the circumstances. Perhaps, he mused, this victory would be enough to sway the sect leader to be more lenient about Kuilang's situation, as well. In any case, the outcome was undeniably positive, leaving room for negotiation and forgiveness. And so, the group continued their journey. Zhuofan remained with them, leading the Luo clan and the demon scheming sect back towards their own territory. Eventually, they arrived at the valley where the two teams had first met. Xuanger and Yongning were there, waiting anxiously, under the watchful care of Yue Ling and Qi Changlong. When everyone was finally reunited, the girls erupted in joy at seeing Chu Qingcheng safe and sound. They surrounded her, chattering excitedly, their bond with Chu Qingcheng as strong as ever, like true sisters. Chu Qingcheng joined in the happy conversation, a genuine smile gracing her face. But just as they were all lost in the euphoria of their victory and reunion, Zhuofan's voice suddenly cut through the joyful noise, sharp and serious. "Listen up," he commanded, his tone brooking. "No argument." "The fighting isn't over." Everyone turned to him, puzzled looks on their faces. What does he mean the fighting isn't over? Isn't the mystical heaven sect completely ruined? "First of all," Zhuofan announced, his expression grave, "there's something I've been keeping from all of you." He stepped forward, gently pulling Chu Qingcheng to stand beside him. "I attacked the mystical heaven sect for a personal reason, for myself. I did it to save my wife. I thank you all, from the bottom of my heart, for your invaluable help." Zhuofan bowed deeply, cupping his hands in respect. The crowd stared, momentarily stunned, then laughter rippled through their ranks. "Ha ha ha, Steward Zhuo, we all figured that out a long time ago," someone called out. "What's the big deal?" "Yeah, with all your accomplishments, fighting to rescue a woman won't make sect leader even blink an eye," Venerable Bai chuckled, shaking his head in amusement. But Zhuofan shook his head, his gaze sweeping across the assembled faces, his seriousness unwavering. "That's not all I wanted to tell you," he corrected them. "Sect leader Zi Wuyue. He doesn't know about our battle with the mystical heaven sect. This whole thing, it was all me." A collective gasp swept through the crowd. They stood dumbstruck, struggling to process Zhuofan's words. Impersonating the sect leader was a grave offense, a betrayal of trust. To then take the sect's elite forces on a personal vendetta, fighting another powerful sect without authorization. It was utterly inexcusable. Knowing Zi Wuyu's volatile temper, they could all vividly imagine the catastrophic fallout. A wave of apprehension washed over them, and they began to tremble. Seeing their horrified reactions, Zhuofan's eyes narrowed slightly. Then, he spoke again, uttering words that delivered the biggest shock of all, words that threatened to shatter their very minds. "That's why," Zhuofan declared, his voice ringing with unwavering resolve, "we are now going to counterattack the demon scheming sect and seize power."